What's going on, y'all? This week we are going to learn all about properties of logs. This is the first of two videos that you're going to watch, and this is all going to be about the properties. The second video is all going to be about the examples that you might find in the problem sets that we're going to give you. So we know that logs are pretty similar to exponential functions, and y'all are already a bit familiar with exponential functions and their properties. And you'll notice that these properties have a really stark similarity to the exponential properties. So let's go ahead and take a look. First up, we have the power property. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just review over each exponential property and then compare it to the log property that's new. So the log property is going to be new. You should be already familiar with these exponential properties. So the exponential power property that I want to reintroduce to you is something that's like this. Let's say you have b to the x, and you raise this to the y power. The property is that you can multiply the exponents together. So you can say that this is b to the x times y. So notice what's happening here. We're turning something that's like raising something to a power and we're turning it into a multiplication. So we can expect something pretty similar in our logarithmic property. So what we can have here is if you have log base b of x to the a power. So if inside of your log function you have x, something raised to the a power, you can say that this is equal to a times log base b of x. So again, we're turning raising something to a power to a multiplication. So these are good ways to remember this. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our product property. So I'm going to do the same thing here, same exact thing. We're going to have our exponential and then our logarithmic properties. So for our exponential property, we should be familiar that if we have a to the x times a to the y, that this is going to be equal to a to the x plus y. So what's happening here? We're going from a multiplication and we're changing it to an addition. And of course, these work both ways. So, you could go from the addition up here to multiplication, but for this, we're going from multiplication to addition. So for our log property, it's going to be something pretty similar. Let's say you have the log base b of x times y inside the logarithm. So this is multiplication. So what do you think that this should convert to? It should be an addition, and that's exactly what it is. We're going to have log base b of x plus log base b of y. So we are changing multiplication into addition. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at one more of these properties where I'm going to compare the exponential to the logarithmic. So here's the quotient property. Here's our exponential and the logarithmic. For our exponential property, we should be familiar that if we have a to the x over a to the y, we should be subtracting the exponents. So this would be a to the x minus y. So what are we doing? We're turning a division into a subtraction. So our log property should be pretty similar. So we should have log base b of, let's say, x over y. So if we have a division inside of our logarithm, then what we can do is we can turn this into subtraction. So this can be also written as log base b of x minus log base b of y. So again, returning division into subtraction. And there's one last property that I'm going to cover in this video that's a bit niche to logarithms, and it's the change of base formula. This is somewhat important if you have a calculator that's unable to do bases other than base 10. But I'm just going to go ahead and explain it here. So let's say you have log base, let's say base b of x. What you could do is you could say that this is equal to log and choose any base. So let's say base c of x and have this divide by log base c of b. And you might be like, why would you do this? This looks way more confusing. Well, what could be really nice, let's say you want a specific base. Let's say you want to have base 8, and you're given something that's not in base 8. So log base 3 of 5, and you want to change this, like I said, to base 8. You could say, well, this is going to be equal to log base 8 of 5 over log base 8 of 3. And that's the change of base formula. So that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to go over some examples that you're going to see in worksheets or in IXL. And I think that's pretty much it. So I will see you in the next video.